he could reopen the economy. On the agenda for today, calls with leaders in businesses, banking, retail, healthcare, sports, transportation, construction, and more. Here's what the president said yesterday.
So those are the names that we have on our list. They're the names that are, I think, the best and the smartest, the brightest, and they're going to give us some ideas.
Thursday, the president will speak with all 50 of the nation's governors about where they are with the possibility of reopening and how soon they may be able to do it. After getting a lot of blowback from his statement that as president, he has absolute authority over reopening the economy, the president dialing it back a little bit, saying that the White House will issue guidelines and then the governors can put together their own plans to restart. But the president also saying he will be watching and may take action if he sees something he doesn't like. Listen here.
We'll have to maybe close them up and start all over again, but I don't think we're going to have to do that.
What you were talking about back at the beginning, in an early draft of a plan here that was originally carried in the Washington Post, but that Fox News has confirmed, the Centers for Disease Control and FEMA have come up with some guidelines which will go into the bigger plan of what to do about reopening America. Among the things that these guidelines from the CDC and FEMA recommend is, quote, coming out of mitigation in a controlled way with robust monitoring systems in place to contain new cases and outbreaks. It also adds that leaders at all levels will need to prepare communities for occasionally returning to stricter mitigation measures for brief periods as needed to continue containing the disease. The CDC also recommends deploying CDC community protection teams in various urban areas around the country, training new public health responders, and we saw a little bit of this during this current pandemic. Early release for medical students, physician's assistants, nursing students, and dental students who are just about to finish their schooling, so that will add to the pool of medical professionals that are out there. The president said that he will very soon be making an announcement about these new guidelines. The president saying that this soft deadline of May the 1st may actually be able to be implemented prior to that by some areas of the country that aren't as hard hit as others, but areas like New York City, Harris, who knows when they may be able to start relaxing the guidelines because the situation there is so bad. Harris?
Well, and rocking in some categories right behind New York and New Jersey is Michigan now.
Yeah.
And it is jarring, the numbers that are there. I use the word rocking because they really do jar you, what's happening in that state right now. And of course, all the political stuff that's going on, we'll leave that aside. John Roberts, you mentioned mitigation measures.
Yeah.
I just want to, that would be testing and social distancing. And still the administration is not where it needs to be on testing. What's the latest on that?
No, and clearly this is a sore point for the president as well, because yesterday morning, Dr. Anthony Fauci said in terms of the diagnostic and the contact tracing and surveillance that we need to reopen the country, it's just not there. And when I asked the president that question yesterday as a preface to, will it be there in time for the publication of the new guidelines, he sort of dismissed out of hand what Dr. Fauci said, saying, well, I don't know what he said. Nobody knows what he said. And I thought it was a little bit of a backhanded comment about Fauci. But clearly it's a sensitive issue because still across the country, testing is a problem. Now you want to make sure that you get in place the diagnostic testing, see who's currently got the virus. You want to get the serology and the antibody testing in place so that you know who had the virus in order to reopen the country. They could do a lot in the next 2 weeks, but at the moment, they're not quite there, at least according to Fauci.
Yeah, you mentioned those mitigation measures, and those were the two things that I thought of, testing and social distancing. Mm-hmm. Thank you for taking my question on that. Appreciate it, John Roberts.
World
leaders are reacting somewhat with alarm after President